What's going on, guys? Welcome to another video on the channel. Today I'm going to be doing something a little bit different than what I usually do. I'm going to be starting my FIFA 21 prediction series. Basically, I'm going to be predicting different team ratings, player ratings from all the teams, as well as across like the top 25 of each league. Just as FIFA 20 content starts to kind of dry up since Team of the Season is ending, I've been wanting to do this kind of style of video for a little bit now, and now that FIFA 21 hype is going to start building it very soon, I thought, why not a better time? So we're going to get into it very quickly. If you guys aren't familiar with my channel, usually I have a face cam and I talk about the market, but for these videos I wanted to just no face cam, just want to get right into it. So that's what we're going to do here. Today we have Liverpool, and our first guy is going to be Adrian here. I gave him a 77 card because yes, he made a few mistakes this season, but he also came up very big for Liverpool in different moments. For example, the Super Cup against Chelsea. He played very well. I think he'll get a +1 to his FIFA 20 card. Next up we have Trent Alexander-Arnold. Another great season for him. He played very well throughout the season, and he did what he did the previous season too. I think he's going to get a +1 from an 83 to an 84. Next up we have ALISSON. ALISSON had another good season. He was injured a few times this season, so Adrian had to step in obviously. But when ALISSON was on the pitch, he played very well. I think he's going to get an 89 to a 90 card, a +1 for him. So, should be a pretty decent card. Next up we have Fabinho, and this one's going to be a little bit controversial. I know Liverpool fans might be a little upset about this one. Fabinho had a very good start to the season, but as we got closer to, the end of the season, he was injured, he came back, and he just didn't look the same. I think he's going to get a -1 rating here. Obviously, we still have the leagues to continue, so his rating could change. But as of right now, I think Fabinho would get an 84 rated card just because of the current form he's running into FIFA 21 with. But like I said, leagues are returning. Fabinho could obviously play very well in the Premier League, but we'll have to wait and see. Next up we have Firmino. This one is going to be another controversial one because Firmino, obviously he started FIFA 20 with an 86. Massively underrated, a lot of people thought. Firmino did have a quiet goal scoring season, I think, though, in the Premier League. And I think he's going to get an 87. It's much deserved. He could get an 88, but I don't see it much higher than an 88. And no lower than an 87. He played well. He's been a very important player for Liverpool. Even when he doesn't score goals and, get assists, he is still very vital to that attack. And that's why I think he's going to get an 87 card with 5-star skill moves. Next up we have Gomez. Joe Gomez had a great season alongside Virgil van Dijk when he played. He's one of the faster players on Liverpool too, so I think he's going to get a very nice high pacey card heading into FIFA 21. Next up we have Jordan Henderson, and I think Henderson's going to get a nice upgrade from an 83 to an 85, especially when Liverpool, lift the title too, unless they somehow bottle it, which is pretty much impossible. But Henderson's going to get a nice 85 rated card. He deserves it. He's been an absolute workhorse for Liverpool, and I think he does, get that upgrade he needs. Next up we have Naby Keita here. Keita had a very quiet season as he was injured for, a good amount of it. I think he's going to get a downgrade from an 81 to an 80. Next up we have Dejan Lovren. Obviously Lovren, was a big talker when Liverpool were in the Champions League final and Croatia made the World Cup final. However, he's been very quiet since then. Honestly, he hasn't really played too well since all of that big talk. And I think he's going to get a massive downgrade from an 80 to a 77. Next up we have Sadio Mane. I think Mane is going to get a very big upgrade coming into FIFA 21. I think he's going to go from an 88 to a 90. It's a much deserved upgrade. He's had a very good season. And I think, at 88, he deserved it at FIFA 20, but this year again he showed how consistent he was. And I think for FIFA 21 he gets that upgrade. Next up we have Matip here. Matip had a very good start to the season alongside Van Dijk, but then I believe he was hit with injuries and, he really just hasn't played much since then. So I think he's going to maintain an 82 rated card heading into FIFA 21. However, I wouldn't be surprised if we do see a downgrade on his card. Next up we have Milner. Milner's very solid for Liverpool. I think he's going to get a downgrade of a -1 from 81 to an 80 heading into FIFA 21. Not because, he hasn't done anything wrong in real life. It's just Milner's getting older, and I think, while people get older, the overall does decrease. As he's not putting in as much, work as he was in, the previous years for Liverpool. But nonetheless, he's still a very good workhorse, which is why I gave him an 80 rated card. Next up we have Minamino, the brand new transfer signing from January in Liverpool. I think Minamino's going to get a 77 card. I think it's a +2 from his 75. I can't see him getting a huge upgrade because he hasn't really proven much from Liverpool. He played very good in the Champions League, which is why I think he's going to get that +2 from when he was on Salzburg. It was when they actually put Liverpool in a very good test at Anfield. But I think he's going to get a 77 card just because he hasn't proven anything once he transferred. Next up we have Origi. Origi obviously had that huge season when Liverpool won the Champions League. However, he hasn't really done too much since then. I think he's going to get a +1 from his 78 to his 79. And, he should be fairly good heading into the next FIFA. Next up we have OXLADE-CHAMBERLAIN. Obviously, he got hurt a few years ago. He's come back. He's played very well. I think he's going to get a +1 upgrade heading into FIFA 21. Next up we have Robertson. Robertson had another great season for Liverpool. Very good with assists as well as defensively. He's played very well as, with that back line. And I think he's going to get another +1 rating from an 85 to an 86. And it should be a fun card to use. Next up we have Salah. I think Salah's he's gonna stay the same at 90 rated. He had a great season, but he just didn't do enough for me in order to get that +1 or +2 that a lot of people were thinking he could get. I just think he's gonna stay the same as far as EA standards go. Next up we have Shaqiri. Shaqiri is one that's gonna get downgraded. I only downgraded him 1, but I think it's very possible he could downgrade a few more. We just didn't really see much of him this year, and that is what's gonna pretty much downgrade that card. Next up we have Van Dijk. I think Van Dijk's going to stay a 90 rated card. Reason being is it's very tough to see a center back go even higher. If he is to get an upgrade, it'd only be to 91, and I can't see him much lower than a 90. So it's really down to if EA are feeling generous. And finally, for the current Liverpool team, we have WIJNALDUM. WIJNALDUM had a very solid season. Again, he's another workhorse midfielder. I think he's going to stay the same at 84. But there is a small chance that he could get an upgrade. I just think 84 for WIJNALDUM at his current rate is pretty much it shows where he is at right now. And finally, I do want to include potential transfers for each team that I do throughout the predictions, just because why not? And obviously Timo Werner, he was one that was a huge target for Liverpool, but he got snatched up by Chelsea. So I decided to include HAVERTZ as the transfer for Liverpool. Just because he's the only other really great player that has been linked to Liverpool recently. But obviously this could change heading into, the next couple weeks or whatever it may be. But HAVERTZ, regardless of what team he plays for, I think we'll get an 86 rated card just because he's been pretty much a beast this season in the Bundesliga, and I think it's a much deserved thing. Anyways, that'll wrap up the video. If you guys did enjoy, please drop a like on it, and make sure you guys subscribe for more FIFA 21 predictions and FIFA 20 content for whatever's left of it. And let me know in the comments below what your guys' thoughts are on the ratings. Who do you think was underrated, or who do you think is overrated? Drop it in the comments. I'll try and reply as soon as possible. Till the next video, peace.